Hello and welcome to my new video for F1 2012. We're talking about some E3 news and updates. So I'd like to introduce this new channel I'm creating, it's GameRiotRacing. So you can tell from the title it's going to be completely and utterly focused on racing games. So it's really, really exciting and it's really interesting direction I'm hoping to take. So please hit that subscribe button if you like F1, Forza and Need for Speed and stuff like that. So the first bit of news I've got for you is a control pad. It's going to be refined. Apparently 95% of people use the controller. So that's going to be a lot easier to use, a lot more simpler, a lot more user friendly, so that'd be interesting to see how that actually controls and plays. Being a control pad player myself, that's really interesting to see. So when you first start the game, you're going to be introduced to a young driver's test, which is actually a new announcement they made during the E3. So this feels like you get the chance to drive a car, McLaren, Red Bull or Ferrari. So basically this will just overview the basic fundamentals of the game, tyres, curves, DRS, etc, etc. Just trying to, so people who are first playing the game perhaps don't know 100% about Formula 1, this is just a really good introduction for them. This unlocks the career mode straight afterwards, so that's pretty cool to see as well. I'd like to see how that works. So another thing they're doing is dramatic weather, which is an improvement on the last game. So parts of the track will be wet, it's not like you say just one corner or a quarter of the track will just be completely wet and some bits won't be, so you've got to try and judge where to go fast, when to go to the pits. Is it wet enough to go and change it to different tyres? It's just going to be completely different and interesting to see how that actually goes. So in the last game it was either wet, intermediate or dry. So this one there's going to be a lot more in-betweens. As I said, the track's going to be slightly wet some parts and it's not going to be like 100% yes that you're the intermediate tyre. So it's up to you. Say if you're in pole position first, you'll be the first person to decide when you want to pit. Is it risky? Is it worth the risk? If you're like in 6th place, is it worth taking a risk early or waiting, holding out on the dry tyres? So you could easily make a brave call and come in early, do a Jensen button in Canada last year, and it could completely win the race. They worked a lot on the engine sounds from last year's driver test. So they had little tiny mics on each part of the car, so it's be a lot more refined, a lot more accurate, a lot more better sound, which again is really cool to see, and I can't wait to see and sound the pleasant sounds of the engine. Again, they've done a lot of tweaks to the AI. It's a lot more based on personality and actual drivers themselves. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. So obviously you have Lewis Hamilton behind you, he's a bit more aggressive, trying to find any sort of space to try and get past. And you have Michael Schumacher, which is a very good defender. Again, he's very good at overtaking. During the career mode you get a lot more natural rivalry, which means you might be paired up with Massa, or you're close in the championship with Massa, and you're trying to compete against him. He'll come up on the map and you get a little target to try and beat him. The career mode hasn't apparently changed too much. They've been announcing a lot more during Gamescom. Just a few little tweaks and stuff like that. It's nothing major to that side of things, but they're concentrating on more of the weather, the AI, and just the driving overall. So some of you might know, one of the new additions to actual gameplay, probably one of the biggest additions, is the brake bias. A lot of you probably seen Michael Schumacher mostly during qualifying. You've seen him put his hand down, his left hand, and he's sort of adjusting it almost every corner, depending on what track he's at. Basically you can do like the back tyres more, the front tyres, just adjusting that as much as possible, just to try and refine that lap, make it as perfect as possible. So that'd be interesting to sort of play with that, especially during like qualifying, we're trying to get the best lap possible. Again, the graphics haven't been improved too much on this game. I mean, it's little refinements, but it's more about the overall content of the track, and we see a lot more outside. The graphics look a lot better outside, not just like flat trees, and the lighting's going to be mega improved. On some of the screenshots I'm showing you during this video, which is some new ones from E3, you can see the light just bounce off the car. Very fine details on the car as well. It's just, again, it's just about refining from the last year's game. They only had a year since the last game, so you're not going to see loads and loads of stuff. You can see little things that just improve the game. Another new addition to the game is brakes actually locking up a lot more during the race, which is actually an important part of this year. It's new because the tyres are very fragile, and you're changing the tyres a lot. So it's very about trying to adjust that as much as possible. I mean, you don't want to obviously ruin your tyres by skidding all the time and sliding. So sometimes you want to lock up your brakes and just slide a bit forwards and you see smoke come out, flat bits on the tyres, and it just ruins your race. You just wreck the tyres. That's all the news I have for you at the moment, but I hope you really enjoyed the video. Make sure you comment below about your feelings on what I've said and what interests you the most. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, it means a lot to my channel. And make sure you like the video as well.